Hello world, welcome to episode 6 of the Hooked on Inkblobs podcast. It's very rainy today. It was a bit sunnier earlier in the week, but then it started to rain, thunderstorms, whatever. But I'm still recording in Amsterdam. My name is Tanya and I live here with my dog Nano, who has decided to very inconveniently try to sleep on top of the wheels of the chair I'm sitting on. So I just hope that I don't roll over while recording, because that happens occasionally. Oops. Anyway, welcome, and I'm glad you decided to join me once again or for the first time. I mostly talk about knitting these days and sometimes crochet, but I haven't done much crochet lately. I do have a few things planned, sort of, but I haven't done them yet, so I guess that doesn't count. I went to the hospital for the second mammogram thingy, and everything was fine. They thought it was a glitch on the photo, or because apparently I have pretty dense breasts. I guess that's a compliment. I don't know, but everything was fine. My breasts are super duper cool, great, fantastic, and I can keep them for now. Yay! Anyway, first things first. This stash shop, I did buy a few things. Not too much, I think. Maybe. But I finally arrived as a sock knitter because I got myself some sock blockers. They're very simple wooden ones, then nothing really fancy, but I like how they feel very smooth on the edges. I bought them at Wol met Verven, which is a Dutch shop, which also sells hand-dyed yarns, so could not buy them, I guess. I initially bought a merino silk blend, but they ran out, and they said they had the same colorway in merino singles, so I got the merino singles instead, which are 100% superwash merino wool, 100 grams, 366 meters. The merino silk was 400 meters, so this is slightly thicker, but I don't really notice. And the color is Potluck 307. Yeah, that does not excite me. I didn't notice on the site, but you can see here the red, it looks like blood splatter, and the neon is neon, and I don't usually do neon. This is the most neon I have, and I don't hate neon or anything, I just never choose that as a color for me to wear. So I did order this to really move out of my comfort zone, because also it has this speckles thing going on, and I don't think I ever bought speckles before, so this is so not me. But I think I will like it anyway. And I have renamed it in my head to Radioactive Zombies because of the neon radioactive and the whole blood splatter thing I get from it. Oh, look at that. I mean, that looks like somebody died. Maybe not, but it's gorgeous. It's very soft, and I love how it looks. And I want to make a Hito Fude cardigan with it. Sorry if I said that wrong. By Hiroko Fukatsu. I saw Lacey from the Knitted podcast making one, and I thought, that looks like a really nice cardigan. So I had to get the yarn, and I will make it. eventually. I don't like buying yarn unless I have an idea of what I will do with it. Otherwise I would buy all the yarns. I would buy all the yarns. So after the hospital thing recently, I decided I needed to treat myself. And coincidentally, Caroline had updated, or was going to update her shop in the afternoon of my after my hospital appointment with her No Rainbows Without Rain colorway, which I really liked. Sorry, distracted. Leave it. And I liked it a lot. And she had a set where you could buy the sock yarn and get a single mini for. I am messing this up. You could order the yarn, the No Rainbows Without Rain yarn, and get a mini skein of the same yarn in just gray for the heels and toes for your socks. So I did it, I ordered it, and I got the colorful smooth sock set for the Rainbow Without Rain colorway. And then of course I had to immediately cake it up and use it. I'll show you how I'm using it in a bit, but works in progress. But this is the mini skein I got with it. I went for the darker gray, I think. I'm pretty sure it's similar. But I like how it's mostly gray with a little pop of colors. And, well, you might know her business card already. And of course I'll put the link to her web shop down here and in the show notes, as always, which you can find everywhere on YouTube, on the website hookedoninkblobs.nl, and on the Ravelry group Hooked on Inkblobs. Did I add podcasts? I don't know. I think if you search the groups for Hooked on Inkblobs, you'll find it. I'm all over the place. Well, literally. I also got, because apparently, according to Emily from down the Hobbit Hall, I'm knitting all the mama vertebraes. I got more yarn for more mama vertebraes. I got Rowan hemp tweed. And this is the treacle colorway. It's brown, but slightly reddish. It's quite nice. And I got plum, which is purple. I think it looks a little more aubergine than plum, but I don't know. I like purple. This works for me. It's I didn't mention that. It's 75% wool and 25% hemp, which should make it somewhat cool during warm times and warm during colder times. I never made anything with wool and hemp before, so we'll see how this turns out. I think it will work. It feels soft enough for on my skin at least. I'm probably not very picky about that. I don't know. Oh, right. I'm almost smacking this up the table. I needed to buy a gift for a friend, and then I found the perfect gift for her, but of course I also wanted one for myself. I got a sock ruler, and this is a really nice one, and I didn't write down the website, but I'm going to put it in here. I think her name was Rosemary, and she has an Etsy shop. I'll put the link in because I'm not very organized today. Anyway, I'm holding it upside down. It has centimeters on this side and a sock needle gauge on this side, so you can check your needles. It has the sizes, And on the other side it has inches. Am I holding it upside down? No. And also, UK and inch size on this side. And very useful, the Kitchener stitch, which is always nice to have at hand, close at hand. Then I'll move to the other side. I was like, I don't know what she's doing. And it has a little ring so you can attach it to your bag or something. It's very solid, but not crazy big in my opinion. It doesn't fit my project bags, I think. Nope. But it's not crazy big. It's easy to bring along, I think, if you need to. Now I'm going to have a little sip of my drink. So I'm having a smoothie. It's actually a leftover smoothie because I made too much. I made it with milk, kefir, and blueberries, and hemp seeds, and some cocoa nibs. And it tastes pretty good. I read online that dogs with upset stomachs can benefit from milk kefir, and I cannot drink regular milk because of my stomach not being there properly. So I looked into it and found out my supermarket sells it. So I tried it and Nano just went nuts for it. She almost attacks me just to get to it. That's how much she likes it. And I tried drinking some and that actually worked for me. So now I bought the grains and I'm making my own milk kefir because I needed another pet, I guess. And well, Nano likes it a lot. Every time I put a little bit in her bowl, she's trying to push me to the side to get to it, and she licks it and just she goes crazy. And one of the first times I had it, I put it in a glass. I put my glass on the table next to the sofa, which is a low table, and I turn around, grab my knitting, and before I had turned back, Nano had already put her paws on the table, which she normally doesn't do, and she started licking the milk kefir out of my glass. That's how much she likes it, because she knows she's not allowed to do that, and normally she doesn't. I can put steak on the table and she'll eat it if I leave the room, but if I'm sitting right next to it, she won't touch it because she knows I can see it and I'll get upset. But she didn't care with the kefir. It was pretty funny, and I shouldn't have laughed probably. Anyway, she seems pretty comfortable where she's oh no, just stretching in a dream. So I did all my stash up, the works in progress, because I have a few. Let's start with the No Rainbows Without Rain. That's my dog walk sock knitting currently. I haven't knit up a lot, but just a decent amount. This is how No Rainbows Without Rain knits up. And I wanted something slightly different because I don't mind knitting up vanilla socks. I think I like some, it might be the needle. Vanilla, just regular stockinette is easiest with these tiny needles. For me at least. Patterns, not so easy. But I wanted something a little bit different. So every once in a while I purl a row, which makes the colored rainbow pop. It's nothing special, nothing big, but I thought it was a nice little accent to an otherwise very vanilla sock. So that goes into my Undercover Otter mini bag. Oops. always there. My previous dog walking is still a work in progress. I was just picking up a few stitches, which I apparently had dropped. Usually I don't drop the stitches with these needles, but sometimes it happens. They're easy to pick up. Anyway, this is my Mind the Gap yarn, and it's pretty long. So I went for a dog walk and I was knitting, and then suddenly I ran out of yarn because I had separated the skein into 50-gram balls, cakes, and I put one in my little bag to bring along. So now I have to see if I can match up the colors, or if I just I might just take this part out and start the ribbing, and then cut it into pieces, do an afterthought heel and a round toe. I like the round toes. I like the afterthought heel. It's so easy. And I wanted to prove to myself that I could do a ripped sock without getting annoyed. So I'm going to use the sock blocker to show you, because I have a sock that will fit on the sock blocker. That's why I got them, right? Oh, look at that. That looks good. I knitted a ribbed sock. It's just a very simple ribbing. I think I could look that up on Ravelry. I think I did like 4 knitted stitch, then 1 purl, 1 knit, 1 purl, and then 4 knitted stitch. And it rips up nicely. It's just a very simple sock, really. And I have... Oh, I do not have second sock syndrome, as I said before, because I've already cast on the toe for the second one. This one is not, this one I don't knit on very fanatically. It just lies in my, I bought a cart for my knitting to put next to the sofa, which really helps. This one sits in there, and every once in a while I pick it up and I knit on it. No rush for it, I guess. I will finish it because I don't like unfinished projects, and if I only have one sock, I call it an unfinished project. Speaking of finished objects, finished projects, guess what I'm wearing? I'm wearing my Mama Vertebrae. I finished it 2 days ago, but then I didn't like the ribbing. I went down a needle size, but it looked like I went up a needle size, so it kind of, I don't know if I can easily show it. It kind of, the ribbing did this really weird, yeah, like that. I hated it. I didn't want to wear it, so I ripped out the ribbing and I redid the ribbing, and it took me 6 hours spread out all over the day to redo the ribbing, and I'm not really looking forward to doing that again. I am much more pleased with this ribbing than I was with the previous one. I do think I need to block it out a little, but I don't know how well linen cotton blends block out. I mean, wool stretches a little, so you can just pull and squeeze and whatnot. I don't know if linen and wool, linen and cotton does that in the same way, but I am going to try and block it and see if I can make it fantastic. I want to get up, but Nano's there, so I'm just going to, so I can show you. Oh, sorry. they're completely finished. Let me walk back a little up so you can see how long it is. There we go. And I use the Hermione Everyday sock pattern on the sleeve just to give it a little bit something different. And I made it a little bit longer, I think, than the pattern said, because I wanted the stripes like this, and I just knitted it up until I was done with the stripes, and then found that I had made it longer than the pattern said. Whew. Getting up and talking exhausts me, apparently. Anyway, I like how it feels. I went for 3/4 sleeve, sort of half 3/4. So that would be 2/3 sleeve. I don't know, because I want to wear it in the summer mostly. This one should help me keep warm in the summer. Just when it gets a little bit chilly, and a t-shirt or a tank top is this should keep me warm. I've worn it today all day already, and it keeps me warm enough inside. This is a t-shirt, but just the t-shirt feels a little bit too cold because it's rainy, clammy, and whatnot. And yeah, I like it. I'm really pleased with it. So now I can indeed knit all the vertebrae because I like the pattern. I did not very much enjoy knitting the ribbing. So with the next one I want to try, I noticed that in the Harvest cardigan by Tin Can Knits, which is a free pattern on Ravelry, they knit up the ribbing first, then attach the raglan part, I guess. Do you call it attach? And then continue knitting, and every time you get to that point you just knit garter stitch, something like that. So I want to see if I can incorporate that technique into the Mama Vertebrae pattern for the next one, because the next one will be Rowan hemp tweed, and it will be warm, I guess. I'll see if I can do it. I think I can. How hard can it be? Famous last words. So I have more. Yes. In my previous episode, I mentioned that I wasn't feeling it with the rainbow sparkle socks, and I had knitted up one sock, partially or mostly to the end. I don't remember if I finished it at that point, but not quite. But I wasn't feeling it with the rainbow sparkle socks. And Diella from the Needle Addict suggested that I would knit up the next sock toe up, because I think I feel more comfortable with toe up knitting socks. I don't know. Well, I did it. I tried it, and it worked better. So, ta-da! I have rainbow sparkle socks on my sock blockers. Totally awesome. There we go. I don't know if you can see the sparkle. Oh yeah, a little bit. But it worked. Now I have a great pair of rainbow socks, and I've worn them. They fit perfectly. See, that was the thing. When I finished the first sock, I didn't enjoy finishing it, but I thought, okay, I'm just going to push through and I'll finish it. And I put it on my foot and it fit perfectly. And I thought, yeah, but now I cannot not knit the other sock. So I did that one toe up, and it was really quick, and I made 2 different socks, but hey, who cares? Because on this one you can see 2, this is the vanilla latte pattern. You can see the 2 ribbing, and the other side it's like 2 ribbing. And on the second one, there's like 3 and 2, so whatever. I got my socks. Nobody will notice, I think. Another thing I finished knitting up the tubes of the Scheepjes Invicta color yarn where the one tube did not match the cousin socks. Basically, I'll insert a photo here of the 2 tubes next to each other so you can see what it ended up looking like. And as you can see, I could make 2 somewhat similar socks. So I did. I cut into the yarn and I made a matching pair. Sort of matching pair. They got really long because I just kept on knitting on the tube. They kind of match up, not entirely, but yeah, who cares. The heel though, I think it's a teensy bit too small, so I will take it out and redo it because it's a little bit too tight in this area. Not a lot. I can get it on, but when I walk I can just feel it push into my foot a little bit, and the heel just doesn't look right to me, so I'll redo it because why not have comfortable socks? And as you can see, I made 2 arm warmers from the other part that totally do not match, which is cool. I don't mind. They're a bit warm right now, so I'll take them off because I don't need more heat. I also knitted on a little sleeve for my Fitbit because for some reason I keep getting an allergic reaction right at that spot on my skin, and I get this burn-like wound, and it looks like I burnt myself and it feels like I burnt myself. So I tried cleaning it. Soap, tea tree oil, alcohol, hydroperoxide, that stuff. Anything I could find that was supposed to clean it well, but that didn't work. So I made the little sleeve with the leftover Koigu KPPPM merino, and I haven't had a problem since, so I guess it worked. I want to make a full sleeve so it looks better, because now it looks like I forgot the other part. Anyway, so I'll get that out of the way. Right, this is once again the point where my big sister is not allowed to watch, so close your eyes, turn away. I don't think she's watching anyway. She didn't say anything about the previous episode or the one before that. But just in case, she might start catching up when she realizes I've made more episodes. So, big sister, you're looking away now, I assume? Because otherwise, you'll ruin the surprise. This is another finished object. Ta-da! I'll put the text underneath what it is and where you can find the link and the pattern and whatnot. And well, yeah, maybe I should keep talking with blah blah blah, but I don't know what to say. I cannot say too much about what I made because that would ruin the surprise, but I think I showed it enough. So big sister, if you are watching, you can look again because I forgot to tell you that last time. Oops. Maybe I didn't know you'd see the rest. No, I did. I did. So I have a few things planned. Emily from the Down the Hobbit Hole podcast has a Lord of the Rings knit along. there and back again Cal hashtag. And it's relaxed. I mean, if you can make up a story, tell a story why this pattern, this thing you made applies to Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit, you can enter it in the finished objects giveaway thread. So that's very relaxed in my opinion. And I want to make a shawl called The Desolation of Smog, the dragon, with this yarn and these beads for his eyes. It's hard to show the exact color, but these are called Copper Rainbow. That they look nice and shiny. Also got a few others, but I decided not to use these. I thought the other one fit better. This one is Graphite Rainbow, and this one is Chalk White Purple Vega Lustered, whatever that means. These were too big, but they looked like emeralds or something, so I thought they might work. And these I knew were going to be too big, but they're called nano beads, so I had to have them. And they're purple. I like the color. So, and like I said before, I want to use this one to make the Hito Fude cardigan. I don't know if I'll cast that one on soon, or I'll cast on this one first. This I want to enter in the knit along because I want to name the cardigan The Riders of Rohan, because Rohan. I know they're called the Riders of Rohan, but I thought Riders of Rohan was a funny joke. Oh, so funny. I don't enter many knit-alongs because I feel they put too much pressure on me. I've looked at some of the sock knit-alongs, and there is one, the box of socks by Woolenvine, I think. Hope I said that right. Yeah, the Yarngasm podcast. And you can just knit your socks and enter them, and that's fine. But some of the others, they want you to cast on a pair of socks in May and finish it in May. But I cast on my socks when I cast them on. I don't want to have the opposite of a deadline. Like I cannot. It's April 27th, and I cannot start my socks because I want to enter them in the knit along, and if I start them on the 27th of April, I have to finish them by the end of April, which I probably cannot do because 3 days is a little bit too short for me to finish a pair of socks. I can do it, but yeah. So then I'd have to wait until May 1st before I cast on the socks, and then I have to finish them before the end of the month. And things happen, so sometimes, like with the Rainbow Sparkle, I don't feel like knitting on them for a while, and then there goes your entry. You cannot enter in anymore, and that doesn't make it fun for me. Quite the opposite. So I don't join those knit-alongs because they give me an unnecessary amount of stress. The There and Back Again knit-along from Emily is also a move-along, so at the same time we're knitting, we're also tracking our walk miles or cycle miles, roller skating miles, anything that makes you move, treadmill, stationary bike, whatever. If you can track how many miles you've gone, you can also enter that in the thread and use it to see how far you've gone in Middle Earth. So I like that idea because then you have an actual progress thing with the whole miles counting. Blah blah blah. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, that one also ends on August 13th, I think, which is a little bit before my birthday. And for me, that gives me enough space to say, okay, I don't want to knit on this for a while, but I'll pick it up in 2 weeks. And it'll be fine. I can still enter it. I don't want to feel pressured into finishing something that I don't feel like knitting on at that time. But I guess for some people it works as a motivator. I just have to be really careful with my energy and my commitments, basically. Because I don't have that much energy that I can just do all the things everybody else does. Annoying. And related to that, I'm already thinking about Christmas gifts because it's only 6 months before before the rush for Christmas gifts starts. So I want to start thinking about it now. And I've been looking into patterns of little stuffies combined with, I thought I wanted to do socks, but I have, let's see, one is 8, the other one is 4, then there's a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, an almost 2-year-old, in July she'll turn 2, and a fresh arrival in September. So I have 6 kids that I want to make something for, and all quite young. So if I make socks, odds are that in 2-3 months they cannot wear them anymore. Maybe a bit longer. I thought maybe if I knit them a hat or a scarf or something that goes a bit further, because hats stretch a bit more, I think that would work longer. I don't know. Combined with a stuffy in the same yarn, because I saw a pattern by Susan B. Anderson with a bunny and a hat, and the hat had bunny ears. I thought that was cute. And I also found the Bon Bon bunny pattern, which looked nice. So I'm basically collecting stuffy patterns that look nice and that I think I can combine with a hat or a scarf for the little ones. And I'll probably make them with either sock yarn or superwash yarn, because they're little kids and things need to go into the washer a lot usually, or maybe not when it's a stuffy, but I don't know. So if you have any suggestions, that would be nice, because if I do one a month with 6 kids, I should be fine. I don't want the stress of having to do all that just like in 6 weeks before Christmas. No way. That will not do me any good. Well, I guess that was it for today. I'm excited to cast on a few more things because I only have socks. Yeah, I have 3 pairs of socks in the making. And no cardigan. I want to make a cardigan, or maybe this shawl. I don't know when I will cast all of those on, but eventually I will make everything. Because I also want to make that Bonnie shirt by Tin Can Knits, which is better for summer, so maybe I should do that before a cardigan, but I don't know. We'll see next time. So, I guess, bye bye, and happy knitting, happy making, and have a good weekend.